Vanquish.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Dan here from Cry Noir. How you all doing? I went through a particularly traumatic experience the other day. A really quite harrowing experience, and I just thought I would like to share this with you and talk you through what happened. I was mugged. I was quite definitely mugged, and more importantly than that, I also betrayed myself. I went against some of my deepest held beliefs, and I just thought I should probably. I'm feeling dirty right now. I'm feeling like a traitor to myself, and I feel like I just need to get this off my chest and sort of have a bit of a confession kind of thing. I'm of course referring to the fact that I pre-ordered a Nintendo SNES Mini. I went into a shop and I actually paid money to a shop for an SNES Mini or a Super Nintendo Classic bullshit name, whatever they've come up with. I handed over money in a game shop for that, and some of that money will go to Nintendo, thusly rewarding them for their bullshit behaviour in the past. I don't really know what else to say about that other than that, I am deeply sorry. It was a mistake, and I'm just, I'm sorry I did it. But anyway, I've always had quite a problem with sort of Nintendo ever since I was a kid, back from the sort of 80s and 90s, the way that they used to treat third-party developers, the way that they've treated their IP over the years, and even it's just been one continuous shit show going right the way up even to the modern day, and the way that they sort of treat YouTube content creators who are sort of sharing their videos and things like that. And there's nobody quicker than Nintendo putting on either a sort of a DMC takedown or a cease and desist or something like that, anything whatsoever. In fact, actually, in a really old video that I did, well, it's not even really old, but in an older video that I did, I actually described Mario as a feckless cum shedder, and I actually used Mario's image in it very briefly for less than a second. It just flashed up, and I even got a comment of my best mate going, how long before you get the takedown notice from Nintendo then? Because that's how brutal they are, that's how draconian their behaviour is. Anyway, unfortunately I did bow to it, and not only did I give money to Nintendo, which I've not done since 1995, by the way. I worked this out earlier. The last time I gave money to Nintendo was back in 1995 when I bought a Game Boy from a store, a brand new Game Boy. And that was only because we were on holiday, we were travelling around, we were spending a lot of time in airports and stuff like that, and I sure as fuck wasn't going to buy a Game Gear. So I ended up buying the Nintendo Game Boy. And that's the last time I actually gave Nintendo money directly. And I have a fairly substantial Nintendo collection, but it's all been bought second hand. Even down to the fact that I waited for the Wii U and bought the Wii U as a second-hand console because I refused to give them money. And also I pre-ordered as well. That was a real harrowing experience. I pre-ordered. The last thing I pre-ordered was Mass Effect Andromeda, and I only pre-ordered that. I had no intention really of playing through it because I knew everyone was talking about how shit it was going to be. So I pre-ordered it purely and simply just so I could make a video, get it up there and kind of shill myself out and try and get some views. Didn't pan out, but them's the breaks. And that was the last time I sort of pre-ordered anything. I used to do little bits of pre-ordering back in the day, mostly for the Assassin's Creed games. Just really for no apparent reason, actually, the more I think about it, because there were always plenty of them about. I think it was more just to go get them on the day or on the evening. So yeah, unfortunately that's what I did. I've kind of had to sort of. I didn't come to this decision lightly, and this wasn't this wasn't a kind of an easy decision to make. Back when the NES Mini came out last year, I sort of thought about it at the time, and I looked at it and I thought, yeah, maybe I would quite like one of those. I mean, I'm much more about the kind of authentic experience and kind of getting the real deal, basically. But then, I sort of saw quite a few retro collectors having them, in their collections as well, just as like a nice little novelty piece and stuff. And I thought, yeah, all right, okay, maybe I would like that. I was like, well, there is going to be the mad rush on at the beginning, obviously, particularly in the run up to Christmas. But after that, obviously, it'll calm down, and come sort of January, February time, there'll be plenty of them about, and I'll just pick one up then. And then Nintendo turned around and said, no, we're not making any more, and that's that. Obviously, you had the whole scalper business going on before, in the run-up to Christmas, where they were up for like £200-300 and stuff like that. And there was always kind of the feeling, it's like, yeah, just while it's coming up to Christmas, yeah, that's what they're going to do. But obviously, thinking after the event, there would be plenty of them about, and that would be that, they'd go back to normal price. But as a result of them just doing that really limited run, scalpers are fucking absolutely quids in. And I refuse to pay £200 or £300 for an NES Mini. I think that's an utter disgrace. There's no way I'm paying for that. Particularly when you bear in mind that a load of the ROMs that are on there, they're just hacked ROMs. They're not like original ROMs that Nintendo have kept in some sort of ancient archive or something like that. No, they're just ROMs that they've downloaded from like websites. The type of websites, by the way, that they've sent DMC, takedown notices to, and all sorts of, giving them loads and loads of shit and complained about them. And then they're the ones that they're actually taking them off there, putting them in a box, and then selling them to people for money. Anyway, right, that's beside the point. It was then announced, obviously, that the SNES Mini was going to be coming out. And, I kind of, at the time, I was like, well, no, fuck them. Fuck Nintendo and the horse they rode in on. I'm not going anywhere near it. It's just not happening. And then I had a look at it, and the games list came out. Now, there's a lot of people that are getting really, really excited for Star Fox 2, which, is good. Star Fox 2, that's fine. It's a new game that's never been released. Okay, that's fine. I can see people getting excited about that. But certainly for the UK, there are like quite a few games on there which we didn't get. Nobody seems to really be talking about this, but we didn't get quite a few of those games that are going to be on the UK and the European release of that. I'll just talk you through some of them now. We didn't get Contra 3 Alien Wars, to the best of my knowledge. We didn't get that. We got Probotector, which I believe is a variation of it. So potentially we might very well have got Contra 3 under a different name. But that's a sort of a different thing. Donkey Kong Country, yeah, we got that. Earthbound, we never got a PAL release of Earthbound, to the best of my knowledge. Final Fantasy 3, we never got that either. F-Zero, we got Kirby Superstar, Kirby Dream Course, we got all of those. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, we got Mega Man X, Secrets of Mana, Star Fox, yeah, we got all those. We didn't get Star Fox 2, obviously. Street Fighter 2, Super Castlevania, Super Ghost of Ghouls, all that. But we didn't get Super Mario RPG Maker, and we didn't, an RPG Maker? No, I'm confusing something there. We didn't get Super Mario RPG. We got Yoshi's Island and the regular one and stuff, but there are quite a few sort of seminal titles in there that we just didn't get. We didn't get any Final Fantasy games over here. We didn't get Earthbound, and we didn't get possibly Contra we might have got, I don't know, but we didn't get Mario RPG either. So those are some fairly big games that people talk about a lot in the US, and they crop up a lot on YouTube, and we just never got them. Now, you could always get them on import, and you could get there was a converter that you could get that would run them in a regular PAL SNES and everything like that. But it's just one of those things. Obviously at the time there was no such thing as the internet, so it's not as though you could download the ROMs and everything. And import games over here were just fucking extortionate. They were really, really expensive. So at the time we never really got them. You know what I mean? And it is a bit weird. It's definitely a weird thing, because I've got a huge SNES library of ROMs. Absolutely huge. I think I've got, I've certainly got a complete US list of ROMs, and I don't think there's any sort of PAL exclusives in there. There might be one or two, but the same with the Genesis. I have a complete ROM list on the PC of every SNES and Mega Drive game or Genesis game out there. So I've got them. I can play these games. And I'm actually going out and buying them as well and spending money for the original physical things. And now I'm also pre-ordering and going against all my beliefs and giving money to Nintendo for a brand new copy of ROMs that I've already got in a fake machine. And I don't really know why. I don't really know why I'm doing this. I'd love to be able to come up with like a good reason for it. I honestly would. Other than I just want it. Mostly for the collecting kind of thing. There is the advantage that it's HDMI as well, so I can just hook it straight up to a TV and that. So that is kind of a bit of a benefit, particularly because at the minute we're a bit short of space. When we move to our next property, our next house, or potentially we have a bit of a sort of a spare room that I might convert into a gaming room. I actually have a CRT telly stacked away like in a corner ready for when I've got room for a proper games room, so I can play them properly. But yeah, I don't know why. It was an interesting story when I went in there. I think I was suckered into it basically because it was all the stuff had come out in the press, and I'd sort of seen the game list and thought, maybe I'll give that a bit of a bash and have a look at it. So I thought I'll just go to game and just see. They won't have any in, that's fine, but I'll just go in and I'll talk to the guys behind the counter and I'll say, do you have SNES minis to pre-order? Ha ha ha, no you don't, that's because Nintendo's a twat. And we would stand there and we would have a nice little bit of a jovial banter between us about how scummy Nintendo were, and then that would be that. And then I could walk away feeling completely exonerated. However, I went in and I said, SNES minis, do you have any to pre-order? And he went, yes we do. And I was like, what? Wait, what? He was like, yeah, we've got them. They had they were allocated 18 in total on the first day. They all sold out in the morning, and this was about 2 days later. They'd been allocated another 8, and of them 5 had already gone. And this was at lunchtime because obviously not many people knew that they were available again because it was just they'd just been allocated them. They weren't advertising them. It's just if people came in and asked. So clearly 5 people had come in and they said, "Oh, have you had a new allocation? Are you getting them?" And I was just in the right place at the right time. And he said, yep, we have 3 left. And I said, right, okay, if I pre-order one with you, I was like, what, am I actually going to get it? What are the chances of me getting it? And the guy behind the counter, he was very honest, he was very good. He said, you have a 100% chance of getting this, as long as Nintendo don't fuck us. So, and then he even looked at me and he was like, and make of that what you will. So yeah, he was like, even the guys who worked in the game shop, they all knew that, they even though they were pre-ordered, even though money had changed hands and it had all been done, there is still potentially a chance that we don't get it. Apparently it comes out, well, it does come out over here on the 29th of September, and they'll hold it for 48 hours, and then that's that. So I will be going on 48, I'll be going on the 29th, and I'll be picking it up, because I believe the 29th is going to be a Saturday. Or even if it's a Friday and I'm at work, I'll be going up and picking it up on the day. So that's kind of what's happened. I feel really bad about it. I feel ashamed. I feel a little bit better now that I've got this off my chest. Now that I've sort of told people that this is, unfortunately what I've done. I've gone out and I've pre-ordered something. And not only have I pre-ordered it from one of the worst companies you could possibly pre-order from. Short of EA and Ubisoft, there's nobody really quite as harmful to the game industry as Nintendo, which is a real pain because they are the people that kind of saved the console market, obviously. Well, that's what they're attributed with. Maybe in America, but in Europe we didn't give 2 fucks. The Master System did loads better. So, but yeah, it's one of those things. So anyway, let me know what you think. Have you ordered a SNES Mini? Have you been suckered in the same as I have? Or do you think I'm a complete idiot for doing it? I think I'm probably a complete idiot for doing it. So feel free to give me a hard time down in the comments below. If you liked this video, don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe and share among your friends and jibber jabber. The gameplay that you're watching, by the way, is that's the PC version of Vanquish. It's a fucking awesome game that I'm playing through now. And yeah, so thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. And Sunday will be, as ever, will be Game Dev Day. I'll tell you about how much progress I'm making with my game that I'm making. And yep, so I will speak to you then. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy now. Bye!
I'll open the terminal doors.